Good morning, Debbie, Anita, Victoria. Good morning. How are we all doing this morning? Hope you're all doing well. How are you? I'm doing great. Carla, good morning. Mike Stevens. Good morning. Cement Shoes. How nice of YouTube to give me a notification. Did they give you a notification? I hope so. Unfortunately, the YouTube notification system isn't working for a lot of people right now. Cement Shoes, and it's not just you. We did a test run last night. I was on my friend's channel last night for about an hour, and while we were live, nobody, people just stumbled across it that we were live. Nobody got notifications at all, and I think we had like 15 people in the actual stream itself. After the stream ended, within an hour, he had something like 800 people who watched it within, the hour afterwards, because none of them got notifications that we were even live. Connie Kelly. Good morning, Connie Kelly. Deborah. Afternoon. Is that an I on the end of that? Shandali? YouTube unsubscribed me a week ago or two. Oh, I'm sorry about that. But that happens. So if you don't, a lot of people don't realize this. If you click just the videos that you see or the suggested next and you watch that content without actually going all the way over to the left-hand side and actually clicking on the channels you subscribe to, they don't make that connection to you're still watching that channel and that content. So they will unsubscribe you eventually. And that's everybody out there. Well, I think they screwed up. They must have wanted me to miss streams. They unsubscribed me 2.5 years. Will, you have a hairdo? No, Anita. I'm just not wearing a hat. Making changes to the channel, the way that I appear, the way that I interact with my community and everything else. We're doing as much as we can to try to keep up with things. We brought on my adult daughter. She has several years of experience as a social media management. So she also works in healthcare. She works in end of life care, but she's in between patients right now, clients, whatever. Those unsubscribed people from last week might not have done it themselves, since I got unsubscribed after being sub for fall of 2008. Reichardt, good morning. Glowworm, good morning. But so yesterday, I tell everybody about this. We got a couple people in here. Yesterday afternoon, I started about 1 o'clock, and I didn't finish until almost 10 o'clock last night. And I took an hour and a half off in there where I was on my friend's live stream. I went through all 27,000 plus subscribers to my channel. And I went through, and from my dashboard, I can look at when you subscribed, all right? And then I can click on the actual name that is there, that is subscribed to me. And then I click on, I can see if you actually put up content at all, if you are a YouTube channel yourself. And then I write them down as channels that actually do make content and everything else. Now, Connie, I went through your 2 videos yesterday. Sorry about that, sweetheart. It's been a while since you put those videos up. But Mike and I went through yours. But I went through and each and every one of them. You'd be surprised how many people who are here that show up in this stream are not subscribers, or they're using a separate account other than what they actually make content underneath. You have nice hair. Why wear a hat? You know, it's one of those things that I guess I just always have. It's not that I'm trying to hide anything, but I went through 27,000 channels yesterday, and to see who was making content, and I have a list of channels that made content within the last year, 6 months. I went from started with the top channel, which has 6.5 million subscribers, and I went all the way down to those with 0 subscribers to it. That's how YouTube actually filters them out. You can't list them alphabetically. It breaks them down by channels with subscribers to them, or no subscribers. Kate Lilly, I have no channel or content, but my name and picture are real. Well, Kate Lilly, good morning. Welcome. That's all right. But I went through all 27,000. I do this regularly, well, semi-regularly. I do it usually every couple of months. I go through and I check to see who's still making content. If anybody is, are they starting off? And if they are, then I might give them a shout out on Twitter or Reddit or here on YouTube, because when you're starting off, you need everything you can to build momentum to get to some point. Maybe you have a goal. Maybe your goal is only to get to 100 subscribers, or maybe it's to 100 million. I don't know, but I want to help everybody that I can. Caleb, good morning. My girlfriend accidentally uploaded a bunch of crochet videos and I didn't even know for months. I'd actually be interested in watching that. Afternoon over there, Kate. But anyways, but you'd be surprised. I mean, I'm going through the list of everybody who subscribes to me, and there are a lot of channels that during this COVID, shutdown and everything else, people who have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos up, and they haven't uploaded anything. They have consistently uploaded every single week or every single month for years, and for the last 6 months, nothing. And some of them are from the UK. Some of them are from Canada, the United States. One channel that I used to watch regularly, they pretty much vanished. That they're from New Zealand. They have something like 8,000 videos on their channel, and poof, gone, nothing. Connie Kelly, how you doing, Connie Kelly? I'm doing great. How's Kevin? I hope Kevin's doing well. But the next thing I wanted to bring up is, I know that we're all true crime buffs and alike, because obviously if you're subscribed to my content, there's a reason, and it's not just because of my good looks and my awesome voice. But so we're all interested in true crime. How many of you out there have been biting at the bit, as a manner of speaking, been waiting for the new Ted Bundy movie to come out? He's good. Soccer Mom of One, good morning, sweetheart. How are you doing? Anyone fancy hear what my friend and I listened to this morning? That was pure nostalgia. Just putting it out because it made me smile today. What did you listen to, Kate? What did you and your friend listen to this morning? Has YouTube been censoring? Short Nice, good morning. I don't know, Rykart. I constantly get notices from YouTube that my there are certain videos that I have online that have been up for, well, a couple of them have been up for a couple of years now, that they've determined now after a couple of years that the content is age restricted. It's not going to be visible for those under the age of 18. So in that aspect, they are definitely censoring. But the Ted Bundy movie, Dallas and Baywatch tunes, wow. I used to watch a lot of, Dallas. Never was much for Baywatch. I mean, David Hasselhoff, for me, is always going to be Knight Rider. But the Ted Bundy movie that's coming out, it stars Elijah Wood, Luke Kirby, and Robert Patrick. It's called No Man of God. But Elijah Wood is the main star in the movie. In case anybody wants to watch the actual trailer, I'm going to post the link right now if you want to watch it. I don't know if somebody tell me if that's an actual live link. How the heck? How many Bundy movies do they need? This interesting cement shoes. This is the Bundy movie that is actually based on the last days of Bundy's life before he was executed, where he actually sat down for a period of time leading up to the end of his life with the FBI and went through every single one of the homicides that he committed. And all right, great. No Man of God. I don't know. I didn't pick the name of it. I'm sorry, but I've been waiting for this movie to come out for a while now because of the COVID shutdown and everything else. It got put on the back burner. Then we thought there was rumors that maybe they were going to offer it to streaming services or HBO Go or something along those lines. Oh. Well, you can open up, you can copy it and then open it in another tab, right card, or watch it later on. I'll put it in the description of the live stream after this. Who shot JR? Life depended upon it, didn't it? J.R. Ewing. I love Dallas. It was just one of those things that back in that time period, I actually watched television. I don't watch television anymore. It's Friday, Ted. But I'm excited that they're finally going to be released. I haven't been to the movies in years, and I can go for basically nothing because my niece works at the theater where the movie's going to be released, and I only have to pay the employee cost, which is a flat $5 to go see the movie. So, but I haven't gone to the movie theater, and seen a movie in years, and I can't even remember the last movie that I went and saw in the theater. That's how long it's been. One of your favorite primetime soaps? I never really got into soaps, somewhat too much. I mean, every once in a while, I depended upon the shift that I was working back then. I'd catch some Young and the Restless or General Hospital, and then Dallas, but the original Dallas, not the remake later on. But it's been a long time. What's funny is I genuinely believe he was executed on a Friday. Then a few months ago, I found out it was a boring old Monday. I'm sorry. Pamela Anderson, she was in Baywatch. Just wasn't my cup of tea. I mean, David Hasselhoff is good at what he does. I mean, not actually that bad of a singer. He's had a lot of hits. He's a lot more popular, and as a singer and actor than a lot of people, here in America really think he is. We've all seen his meltdown, drunken stupor eating cheeseburgers off the floor of his bathroom. Everybody has their fall from grace or their setbacks. The Hoff. But I just, to me, David Hasselhoff is always going to be the Knight Rider. Knight Rider in his car kit. Faithful One, good morning. I hope you are doing well, Faithful One. Welcome to the stream. You like Beverly Hills 90210? I think I may have watched some of them. I'd have to think, back, but I don't. I remember seeing bits and parts, but I don't know if I watched a whole lot of it though. Twin Peaks. I've seen every single one of those, and I still have every one of the books. The Diary of Laura Palmer. Easily Distracted. Welcome to the stream. I've actually been to several of the places that they actually based the Twin Peaks location on, and where they did some of the outdoor scenery shots, along with the TV show Northern Exposure. That is actually the downtown area of Roslyn, Washington. You can go there, and it looks just like the set still to this very day. Dr. Fleischman's office, everything. It looks just like it did in the actual movie. Some of the scenes were shot there, but the majority of them were shot on a soundstage in California and some in Vancouver, British Columbia. But a lot of it, the downtown area is what it was actually based on. Patrick, well, it's not Patrick, Patricia Daly. Do you watch Seven Fools on Saturday nights? I don't know what that is, Patricia. My two all-time favorites are Friends and Sex and the City. Beretta. Now we're going back in time, Carla. We're not going to admit that we ever watched Beretta because it might age us a little, give people an idea of how old we are. But Beretta was a good show. Ghoulie. No, I still don't know what that is. Ann King. Hi, from Denver, Will. Listening while road tripping to Casper, Wyoming. Love it. Well, thank you, Ann, and have fun in Jasper, Wyoming. I have a friend who lives in Jasper. He is about 3 blocks off of just as you come into town, depending with, well, if you're coming in from the west going east into Jasper, he is about 3 blocks into town. He used to be a Bronco rider, and he's since retired because of back injuries. But how long has Steve lived there? I got to think back. 20 years? He's got to live there at least 20 years now. Beautiful, beautiful town. I love that area. There's some places in Wyoming, ladies and gentlemen, that you will never see anywhere else. The beauty is just absolutely, it's breathtaking. Joey Chandler knew how good that Baywatch theme was. Is it ADM SLC? Love the channel. Keep it up. Well, thank you. and welcome to the stream this morning. Hope you had Gens R Us. Or Gens 044. I thought there was a U in there. Hi, Will, and everyone. Good morning. Hope you're all well. I have strep celiac. Oh, I'm sorry, Jen. I hope you recover quickly. Blue Bloods and CSI. Let's see. CSI Miami with Horatio Caine. The first with the original cast, the first 4 seasons. What was he on? NYPD Blue? The guy who plays Horatio Caine. That's good. That's good television right there. Back in the day. Will, you into Pamela Anderson back in the day? No, Glowworm. Not really. I never was a fan of Baywatch. Ann King, my husband, is hooked on NCIS and Blue Bloods. And NCIS, well, I mean, how can you go wrong with NCIS and Mark Harmon? I mean, Mark Harmon should be a national treasure. CSI Miami, Columbo. Gosh. What an odd individual he was, wasn't he? Columbo. I think, in a lot of ways, Monk was kind of like the modern day version of Columbo. Because I've been away, what big crime stories are happening? Soccer Mom of One? Well, let's see. There's been a lot happening, and yet nothing happening in the Lori Vallow case. A lot of people have been reporting on the disappearance of Summer Wells. There's a lot of cases that people have been doing. My name is Jennifer, so my screen name is Jen, and then R for initial of my middle name, S for initial for my last name. 44, so it equals Jen's RSO 44 LLL. I'm still sorry for making the mistake and thinking that I thought there was a U in there. I really did. I thought it was Jen's R Us. But now you've explained it to me. Thank you. You have a crush on Horatio Caine? He's a good-looking man. He's a good-looking man. I'll give him that much. Yeah, Horatio. Reichardt, you're absolutely right. COVID-19 turned us all into Monk of some form, right? I mean, he was a germaphobe, but now we all turned into some type of germaphobe. Oh, okay. I loved Toys R Us. Back when Toys R Us was open, my daughter was younger. We avoided Toys R Us like the plague. The Toys R Us around that was nearest to us, so it was 3 towns over from us, but it was just a nut house. It was always disgustingly dirty. They never upkept it. Tiles were missing from the floor, so they just taped cardboard over the top of it. You could tell the company wasn't doing well for the longest time because they weren't putting any money into upkeep of the actual infrastructure of the stores. It's disgusting. I'm pushing the boat out. Ryan's toy review. Parents get me. Ryan's toy review. Now, isn't it the little boy, the YouTube channel? Didn't they get demonetized? After the COPA regulations. I know they don't have any comment section anymore. Murder, She Wrote. Murder, She Wrote was a good one with Angela Lansbury. That was a good show. You know, one from the UK that I really enjoyed watching was Black's Books. I just watched a prayer service for Little Summer Wells. I was very, very moving. So the COPA regulations came down. The federal government here in the United States came down on YouTube, all YouTube channels, and they made so you have to identify, is this content made for those under the age of 18 to 13, and then if is it made for 13 and under, and if so, in a nutshell, the law that was passed that the federal government used for the COPA regulations says that YouTube cannot collect data from the viewer of the actual channel. And so if a child is watching a YouTube video, you know, Ryan's toy review, they can't collect data on the child who is watching it or data on the child who's actually in the video. And because of, you know, obviously we don't want, you know, the government, you know, or YouTube, you know, who's going to sell that data off to advertisers later on, they don't want them to collect information about our minor children. That was what the law was originally meant to do. What it ended up doing when YouTube put the COPA regulations in force is it demonetized a lot of children's programming. There's zero money now because they can't put ads, because the ads on YouTube are based on actual interest in views, in duration. So every time you watch, and I'm sorry for having to tell people this because now people are going to like, you know what, I'm not going to watch anything on YouTube anymore. I always get backlash for it. But every time you click on one of my videos, and if you watch for 3 seconds to give me a thumbs down and leave a nasty comment, it takes a tiny little cookie and it puts it in the jar and says, this is what you clicked on. And the next time you do it, it puts that little cookie in the jar. So it's the algorithm is learning by what you're actually watching. And yes, I know this is just a crazy simple too. But Snowy's Photography, good morning. Not a series, but I really loved Death Wish. But they can't place advertisements on because they're interest-based advertising. 90% of all ads that you see on the sidebar, overlay, you know, skippable ads, they're based on your viewing history. 90%. Only 10% of all ads that are placed on YouTube are just for anybody. You know, where they're not actually targeting you for, you know, based on your interests. And you watch something on YouTube, pick something you've never watched anything about. Let's give this example. Crocheting. Go find a crochet channel, how-to tutorial channel on how to crochet. All right? Watch the video from beginning to end, then log off. Actually, go up to the top and log off of YouTube completely. Log out. All right? Then go over to Facebook. Look at how long it took for advertisements on Facebook to start wanting to sell you crochet supplies. That's the world we live in, ladies and gentlemen. And sadly, as a creator, I get 1/10 of a cent. 1/10 of a cent for each and every person who clicks on a video and watches a video. Doesn't matter how long they watch it. 1/10 of a cent. Takes 10 people, and I get a penny. But they use that. They use all that information. You clicking on a video and watching it is That's gold. It's pure gold to YouTube because they can sell that to not only the first person, the first company for the primary, targeting of ads. They can then sell that information multiple times over. This person likes crocheting videos. This person may be interested in crochet monthly. This person might be interested in patterns, whatever. But some kind of advertisement is going to be based on it. I hope you're doing well, by the way. I don't know if I remember to say it so or not. Snowy's Photography. I hope you've been doing well. Law and Order SVU. Connie Kelly in my house, in our cabinet. I think we have every season of the Law and Order Criminal Intent. Not joking, and you're all try this. Talk about something in front of your phone, like cat food. Guaranteed, when you open Facebook, it'll have ads for cat food. Yeah. Go to a location, GPS. Even especially if you have an iPhone, you can turn off your GPS locator on your actual phone. Turn off your location notifications. Turn it off on your phone. Take your phone. Put it in the glove box of your car. Drive to a restaurant. Pull over, park there, wait 5 minutes, and without ever getting out of the car, and then go home. You will get ads for the actual restaurants and for food. You can't turn some of these apps. They're sneaky about how they actually put them on. It's not just iPhone, but they're the major culprit. But people are like, oh, you know what? Don't share my data. My information. They get all upset about it. It's in the actual agreement. Every one of us gets when we buy one of these stupid devices. They're running tracking software everywhere we are. You ever want to find someone? As long as the phone is turned on, you can download an app and find out where somebody is. All you got to do is download it to your phone and put it in the background on theirs. You can delete the actual tile so they'll never even see that's on the phone. And then you can find it. And they were meant to originally to help people who lost their phone find their phones. But people have turned it into a lot more sinister things like tracking boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, kids, teenagers. Where are they at? And we carry these stupid things with us everywhere we go. That's what I love about going to my friend's cabin. It's so far off the grid. It's unless you want to carry around a brick that doesn't work, you can't get any cell reception. You're completely off the grid. There's no electricity that runs to it. Nothing. It is the perfect bug out location. Bits and pieces. Yes, it does. Good morning, Sarah. I hope you had a wonderful week. Jeannie, good morning. I hope you had a wonderful week as well. Me too. Samsung Galaxy Androids, it still listens and tracks. Oh, yeah. Oh, trust me on that. I know it does. I mean, but that's the world. We all have to. We gave up so much privacy the moment we decided that we wanted them to offer us these phones. We're basically carrying around a mini computer in our pockets. I mean, I don't want to say how old I am, but let's just say this. When I was in high school, I was in a program. I'm not kidding. You had to take a special class, a program, to learn how to use a 286 computer, a Franklin 286. A Franklin computer was a knockoff of the very first Apple computer. No Windows back then. Windows didn't come out until way later. You had a DOS prompt. Those who are younger, that's basically a flashing little dot on the screen. It was called a DOS prompt, or it said DOS, DOS. And you would have to go to catalog to look up a list of different programs that were on the computer or on a disk, a floppy 3 1/4, whatever. But from that moment on, we started giving up. The moment cell phones got small enough, we could put them in our pockets. Because the first ones were freaking bricks, or they were just so cumbersome you couldn't put them in your pocket anymore. I remember, first cell phone I ever had that me and my wife got. I never carried my phone with me because I didn't have any place to put it. So she always carried at least one of the cell phones with us because she could put it in her purse. Couldn't put it in your pocket. Hey, Tamara. Almost at the end of the week for me. One more third night. Well, good. I'm glad you had a great week, Sarah. I was a senior in high school when the very first computer was installed in the main office. Yeah, we actually had to have a computer license. You had to take the class. You had to pass the class on competency in how to use the computer. My senior class, there was 400 some students in my senior class. I was one of maybe 12 students who actually had a license to actually use the one computer that was at the school. One. I mean, but you have to remember that. I mean, hell, they were just ungodly expensive back then compared to today. Technology has just made leaps and bounds. Has there ever been an update on summer, Sarah? That depends on what you consider an update, Sarah. To be honest, it's really hard at this point in time to kind of shift out those who are just regurgitating the information that's out there versus what really has happened. There hasn't been any formal statements from the sheriff, police department, or anybody in an official capacity to answer your question. The new mainstream media is regurgitating a lot of what's happening. YouTube is filled full of speculation, lies and rumors and all kinds of stuff. So, is there anything really new? No, they haven't found her. They still haven't listed either of the parents. And I understand that they're rough on the exterior. They smoke, they drink. They're not the perfect picture family like the Ramseys, John Benet Ramsey's mom and dad. They don't. He doesn't wear a suit and tie. She doesn't dress in the newest fashions. So a lot of people want to talk down on them because or think ill of them because they're not the perfect looking parents. They don't have the 4-bedroom white picket fence lifestyle, living in the suburbs. They live in a rural area. So they think that they must be less. They must be guilty. It's sad. It really is. Hey, Damon, how's it going, buddy? I hope you had a wonderful week. Sorry, I have a Facebook group that's open. The page is open right now, and I can't close it. Because they're actually talking live about fantasy football right now, so we have to put up with the stupid chimes. I can't close it. There's nothing wrong with that, Jen. Nothing at all. Do you think Alec Mission's victims deserved it? No, of course not. To answer your question, Damon, business cards were off the charts back then. Business cards. I still have a box of business cards around here. I stumbled across them the other day while I was cleaning up. So back then, I used to own a bookstore. Tamara, you had a word processor for your first computer. Go New York, Guinea's dang autocorrect. They were. My parents brought me up. Bought me a 1984 Apple computer. I was 8. As soon as I figured out it wasn't a TV, immediately lost interest. I'm sorry, cement shoes. Back then, Minesweeper, and simple DOS programs like that were all the rage. Snake, you'd try to make a pattern without biting your own tail. My hubby's computer. Well, we got married in 1986. Giants. So, one second. I just happen to have these in here because I just got them back from the dry cleaner. Phillies. Reds. Cincinnati Reds. Yesterday I wore the Detroit Tigers jersey, but I have Phillies, Mariners. I have the original San Diego Padres. It's actually not an original. I bought it from Ebbets Field. You can buy retro original jerseys, and same with the Phillies one comes from Ebbets Field. And then I have five of their not originals, but they're from the I'm sorry for saying this, but they're from the original Negro baseball leagues. I have like the San Francisco Sales from the West Coast League. Then I've got so many different jersey shirts, and actual jerseys. I own a couple of original ones that are signed, like the Seattle Mariners one I have signed. It's signed by Ken Griffey Jr. I actually got him to sign it at an actual baseball game. I think it was at the Kingdome. With this strep, my energy gets low fast. I'm gonna go lay down. Have a good day, everyone. You too, Jen. I hope you recover quickly. The area where the Wells family is absolutely beautiful. I would love to live there. From the flyover that I did from looking at the drone footage plus the overlay from Google Maps. Yeah, it's a very rural area, and where their property is, it borders 2 national forests, one across the main roadway and another one just behind there. Babe Ruth and the Reds. I have a Boston Red Sox jersey with Babe Ruth's number on it. So obviously, it's not an original. This company called Ebbets, EBBETS, I think it's 1 T, Ebbets Field. They make jerseys that are from the original jerseys to different sport, like baseball teams. You can go back to the very first baseball team, and they make jerseys from those original teams, and they're the same stitch pattern, the same material, everything. They're costly. Some of them are $600-700 a piece for the really authentic looking ones that are hand sewn and everything else. But you can buy ones that are a lower tier that they're 100, 75 right in there. But I always keep them on my watch list, in case any of them ever go on sale, and that's why I buy it. I have ones from all different kinds of teams in baseball. The Gambino. Kevin, how you hanging? I'm doing great, Kevin. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Cool, you got him to sign in. Sign it? Oh, to sign it? Oh, Griffey? Yeah. When I lived in Seattle, I used to live in well, I didn't live in Seattle. I lived in Linwood, Washington, which is kind of like a suburb. It's one of the many suburbs around Seattle. But I worked in downtown Seattle. I worked off of Third Avenue in downtown Seattle. So I was always down there. And some days, I go into the office and kind of sneak out the back way. And then me and a couple other coworkers, we'd hit if they had a day game going on, we'd go to a day game. But we always knew get there early when they're actually out on the field doing practice, and always stay late after everybody starts going home, because some of the players would come back out and they'd take batting practice afterwards if they didn't have a road trip that they had to go on. So we used to get all kinds of things signed, but that's how I met. I didn't get to meet him really, but I got to see him. He signed my jersey. He signed it right here across the front of it, just above the Mariners logo. I had a Yaz jersey. Not a sports person myself, but I like watching hockey in person. I have one hockey jersey, Tamara. It's the Minnesota North Stars. It's an original game used Minnesota North Stars jersey. But Minnesota, that was when I stopped being a real hockey fan. I grew up a hockey fan, then a baseball fan, in that order. But after the Minnesota North Stars moved to Dallas and became the Dallas Stars, we put our blood, sweat, tears, and money into supporting that team just to watch them pick up one day and move to Dallas, not for more fans, but for money. Our loyalty to the fans, to the team, didn't matter. It was all about money. Never miss a race, but you're Dutch, Carla. I love watching short track during the Olympics. Is Ken Griffey Jr. an NFL quarterback? Krispy Kreme. We all went to prom together. Ken Griffey Jr., baseball player, outfielder, center field, played for the Mariners for the large majority of his career. His dad was Ken Griffey Sr. He played in the major leagues, played for the Mariners, played for the Cincinnati Reds. Griffey, after the Mariners couldn't afford him anymore, went to the Reds, played there. A Hall of Fame career. His brother, Billy, played in the major leagues somewhat, played more in AAA, but also played in the majors. No, his brother's not Billy. I'm thinking of Billy Ripken, Cal Ripken. Cal Ripken's brother's name is Billy. I can't remember what his brother's name is now. Drawing a blank on it. But he's not an NFL quarterback. Krispy Kreme, you're from Cincinnati? Sarah. Eli Manning was a quarterback for the Giants. That's true. One of the Manning brothers. Eli's funny as hell, man. But crispy. Yeah, Cincinnati. Both senior and junior both played for Cincinnati Reds. That's why I have the Cincinnati Reds uniform, the jersey. Tamara, you're from Michigan but live in Indiana? My heart goes out to you as well, Inner Peace. I hope that you find some not necessarily closure at this point, but some sense of comfort in knowing that a lot of us are out here are praying for you and hope you the best for you through this time of loss. Smoke them if you got them, right, Cart? Peyton is still doing he's doing like sketch comedy and stuff like that. He does this. I saw an episode of or a video on YouTube where he got he went back to his alma mater, his college, and walked around. Pete Rose is also in my friends group from high school. Now there's a tragic story. Speaking of Pete Rose, it is lifetime ban from baseball. We can all agree, and Pete agrees himself, gambling on baseball was not a good idea. But even Major League Baseball agrees that Pete Rose never bet on the Cincinnati Reds while he was a manager in any capacity. They were never able to prove that he bet on the teams that he actually had influence over as a player or as a manager. But he got a lifetime ban. But then again, you go back to the White Sox scandal, and Shoeless Joe Jackson received a lifetime ban from baseball because the White Sox scandal was about one team who threw the World Series and purposely lost, and they're paid off by bookies and the mob to actually throw the World Series. Shoeless Joe Jackson is the only person on both teams who hit better than his average, stole more bases than he normally would have, and was not called out on any of his steals. He did more, and they were never able to prove that he took a dime. He was given a check, and he never cashed the check. But they banned him for life. He's still not in the Baseball Hall of Fame. You can take the New York out of the person. Just saying, no matter how hard you try. Lost your mom 7 years ago, and dad the day after my birthday last month. It's hard. I'm sorry, Tamara. Reichart, you don't like Peyton Manning, huh? I guess he's not for everybody. We live in upstate between Buffalo and Rochester. I've been up there in that area. I've definitely been to Buffalo quite a few times. You're born in their 10th wedding anniversary, so he also died the day after what would have been their 55th wedding anniversary. Wow. Lauren just posted a Barry Morphew video. Is there something new in the Barry Morphew case? I hadn't seen it. Pete Rose and Babe Ruth are the ones I was confusing. Mel, good morning. Well, or no, it's probably evening down there. in the land down under. But either way, Mel, welcome. Sorry I didn't say hello earlier. On his hit stats alone, yes, he definitely should be in the Hall of Fame, Kevin. But you know, that's baseball for you. It's all good. We're on sports talk roll, LOL. No, but we start off this morning, Mel. We're talking about the new Ted Bundy movie that's coming out. It's called No Man of God. No Man of God. And it stars Elijah Wood from Lord of the Rings, Luke Kirby, and Robert Patrick. No Man of God. This is actually based on the FBI investigation and interviews with the FBI agent and the last part of Bundy's life before his execution. I've been waiting for this movie to come out for a while now. It's a crying shame. Good morning. Reggie Jackson. Who did you say was making the Bundy film, Cement Shoes? I don't know who actually made the movie, who the director is. I only wrote down here, the movie's called No Man of God. And I wrote down the stars who are in it. Elijah Wood from Lord of the Rings, Luke Kirby, and Robert Patrick. Those are the three main actors in the movie. I posted the link earlier. You can all copy it and open in another tab and watch it. But that's the IMDb link to the actual promo trailer of it. Ted was an animal and smart. Yes, he was. People used to get married and stay married. My parents were married a long time too. My parents were both Christian. My father-in-law was, and so is my mother-in-law. My father, growing up, was Roman Catholic. He was Roman Catholic until the Roman Catholic Church closed in our area, and he didn't want to make the 60-mile drive to the next Roman Catholic church. So he, I guess, just became Catholic. I was raised Catholic. So my sisters, me and my three older sisters and brother were raised Catholic. My two younger sisters, they were all baptized in the Catholic Church. I think the sister just beneath me, I think she went through communion, but I'm not sure. I know my youngest sister, no, she never went through communion, but me and my wife were married in the Catholic Church. Yeah, well, we live in a small farming community, and the Roman Catholic Church just didn't have as many parishioners to pay the bills anymore. I think the church now is a Presbyterian or a non-denominational church. The building's still there. It's just, the nearest one was 60 miles. So I'm nothing, but I think there might be a small percentage of devil. You're 100% funny, Mel. Love your content, sweetheart. You ain't nothing, Penny. Where will the new Bundy film be available to watch? Is it a theatrical release? Yes, Cement Shoes. This I originally thought that, and there was a lot of rumors online that it was going to, since the COVID crisis came and the theaters were shut, what they were going to do was they were going to release it to like HBO or some kind of streaming service. But they decided to hold off, and they're releasing it in the theaters. Depending upon your location, it may be coming to your theater soon. I know right now it's on the schedule for the theater that my niece works at. It's on the schedule to be released August 1st in the theater where she works at. So I'm actually gonna make an effort and go to an actual real movie in a movie theater for the first time in years. I'm going to go see it there. Baptist is the best religion. Just joking. LOL. I've been watching church on YouTube. LOL. It would be really real. It would be real for me to actually walk into a church. Anyway, I've had this discussion with people, and I'll just end it at this: is, you don't have to go to church to be religious, to have faith. You can have faith in your own way. It's how you use your faith that's important. I'm the way I am. I would probably say a lot of the way, morals and ethics and everything else are based on, not trespassing upon, my neighbor, respecting my neighbor and their views for who they are, based upon, the teachings in the gospel of the book. And that might be wrong for some people that I don't go to church, to an actual building all the time to worship, but I live a busy life, and I just don't have the time anymore. But I go on holidays, I go on special events, certain days of the year that I'm not going to get into that are important to me. If I stepped foot in a church, you'd burst into flames, Sarah. That's what my wife says. She says the same thing, that if she stepped into a church, she'd burst into flames. I told her, you didn't catch on fire the day that we got married. So, she's like, yeah, but why tempt faith? Yeah. Kevin, faith is in your heart and your mind. I've never been raised religious, but I used to love going to church with my friends and their family. Love the music. That's cool. My father got butthurt when the Catholic Church stopped doing Mass in Latin and didn't go for 30 years, Jeannie? 30 years. Wow. Huh. Broken Justice, good morning. Kate, you're absolutely right. It's a moral compass. It's a moral compass that will lead you in the right direction in life. I don't trust organized religion. In my opinion, Jesus doesn't want my money. Lots of false prophets out there, tens of millions, $1 million homes, houses, swimming pools, and gold toilet seats. Don't forget about the leisure jets, the yachts. Yeah, I have a real problem with the mega churches and what they bring in. And then also with the televangelist movement that is still going strong on television every Sunday. in a lot of aspects. My older sister is still hooked on that. The Sunday morning gospel hour, if she refers to it. She doesn't trespass on anybody, but what she does with her own money, that's up to her. And to each and everybody out there, you do what you want with your own money in your own time. As long as you're not out there hurting other people, that's all that matters to me. The health and wealth gospel. Yeah. Rolex diamonds and dial watches, right? I think a lot of people have lost their moral compass. Unfortunately, it does seem that way, doesn't it? That society is moving in the wrong direction. But you have to also keep in mind, broken justice is the evil in this world will get the attention on the internet and on cable television and on the news. The good in this world never seeks out the limelight. The good in this world never makes the evening news, never makes the internet, and never will make the front page of your newspaper. And that's just the world that we live in. Sex, drugs, rock and roll used to sell newspapers and evening, television, airtime. But now it's murder and mayhem and corruption. These are the things, they've always been there, and they're always going to be there as long as humans walk this earth. But that's what sells evening news and newspapers and advertisement now. And that's what makes YouTube channels like mine even exist. If I was talking about the good and that happened in the world, would anybody tune in? I would hope so, but I don't think it'd be anywhere near as many. Crystalina Bacteria, welcome. Long time no see, Crystalina. Hello from the UK. Do you think Lori would have gotten Chad killed as her next husband? Very good question. Well, if Alex Cox was still alive, down the road, and he wouldn't have died, I think there's a very good chance that she would have, yes. She would have had Alex do her bidding for her, and Chad would have been the next dark spirit walking the earth who was a zombie and needed to be taken care of. It may have taken a couple of years, but eventually, yeah, because Lori has always gotten her way. Ever since, she was a teenager, leading up through her first marriage, and when she was a beauty, queen, and everything else, and having this dream of grandeur of being, the next model, the superstar, whatever the hell she thought of herself. Because she still thinks that way today about herself in a lot of aspects. Because don't forget, when they were going through the bail hearings, when she was trying to get bail and bond, and she was being held on just $1 million bond, she made the actual statement to the guards and to other inmates where they could all hear it. We'll see if all this is worth $1 million. That's an actual quote from her. She really thinks that highly of herself. So, well, I hope you're being able to find some time, Crystalina, for yourself. And I'm just glad to hear that you're doing well. I worry about when people who were normally here and they disappeared. I don't know. I think Brandon Brudeau was going to be next. And in the actual order of people who've actually been killed already. Brandon Brudeau, they tried to get him before, if they wanted him dead just as much as they wanted, Chad's wife. I think there are more people on that list. According to Lori Vallow, not Lori Vallow, but Mulaney, they had a notebook of, and I'm sure the police department has it, or the DA has it, and now it's been, shared with the defense. But they had a notebook of people who were dark spirits, and it looks like to me that they're systematically going through that list and eliminating these dark spirits. And along Smith, she was along that line though. I really believe that Alex was the one who did the dry run hit on Chad's wife. Yeah, with the paintball gun, where she got out of her car and she was getting ready to go inside, and a masked man came out from behind her and shot at her with the paintball gun. I think that was a dry run for actually killing her. I think that was what the original idea was to have Alex come up to the house and shoot her, with his actual real gun and kill her, and to see how easy it would have been for him to get out of there, and get away with it. And that was a dry run using a paintball gun instead. Porta pot. Case is such a convoluted case that will go on and on. Zoma, I bet so. Alex would be available to them. Zoma. Just tapping on my files here. I still haven't put them away. This is the pages are not numbered, and this is from the synopsis of the Chandler Police Department and the death of Charles. A lot of it is redacted. I mean, it's redacted. I mean, literally redacted. In a lot of cases, in the text messages back and forth between Lori and Zoma, she doesn't refer to her to Zoma by name, or it's redacted. On 6/3/19 at 21:32 hours, Lori 2, then it's redacted. Believe it, Zoma just got home and got JJ to sleep. Let's go spiritually tonight and work on him. We give him the timing to the Lord, but we don't need to relent. This is war. Speaking of Charles, going to war against Charles. Same person, right after to Lori. Oh, and we can meet. You can meet me at the temple in the morning. I have time tomorrow, and we can work on Hiplos. Hiplos is another name that they gave to Charles on top of Ned. looking into Lori's web history using redacted, I saw that the web search was conducted on 6/21 for Social Security disability. Utilizing the URL attached to the web search, it took me to the Social Security disability application. The form allowed to enter the applicant's information to be able to, and then the next 3 pages are redacted. How to obtain benefits, where she was actually looking up, and then she replied to Chad. So I talked to the insurance company today. He changed it, so it was probably Ned before he got rid of him. This is when he went from Charles, went to, it was Ned, someone else, then changed to Diplo. Apparently, as the evil spirit just went on. Diplo is a reference to someone in the actual Mormon Bible, I believe. I could be wrong there, though. Before they got rid of him, they can't tell me who, of course, is going to be the beneficiary. But I still get the $4,000 a month from Social Security. Now, it's redacted. It does not actually say that that's from Lori to Chad, but if you read the messages before and after, it does appear that she was actually talking to Chad about the life insurance money, and that Charles had changed the beneficiary, but she was still going to get the $4,000 a month from Social Security in death benefits for JJ and for Tylee. The way Laura laughed after Charles was killed, his neighbors sorry, was unbelievably repugnant. She should have investigated and arrested them both. Maybe the kids would still be alive. Cement shoes. Alex Cox never should have been allowed to own a firearm. From the day that he used a stun gun on Joseph Ryan, right? Yeah. He assaulted Joseph Ryan, used a stun gun on him, and got a reduced plea bargain agreement. If they would have convicted him with the assault and battery on Joseph, or was it? Yeah, it was Joseph. After a while, you trying to keep the names straight is hard on this case, but if they would have convicted him with just that, he would have lost his rights to own a firearm. And every one of these people, it never would have gotten this far. How would they have gotten rid of, Chad's wife? Well, they still could have poisoned her. And they probably did. But all the other people who have been murdered, the children, it never would have. I don't think it ever would have progressed to this point if Alex had lost his rights to own a firearm. Because, frankly, I don't think Lori has it in herself to actually pull the trigger on a gun and actually execute someone. I don't think she has that in her. She has always been someone who has manipulated other people around her to do what she wanted and what was in it for her, to her best benefit. Hi, Kimmy. Welcome to the stream, Kimmy. Kimmy G. He threatened to kill Joseph Ryan in his stand-up comedy, then really does kill Charles Vowell. Those were Keystone cops who should have had to go to the hospital and head checked out. Yeah, I mean they didn't believe Alex Cox's story. Now, keep in mind, according to the EMT records that were released, Alex Cox had a tiny scratch on the back of his head, no bump at all from an aluminum baseball bat. He had no other injuries or visible injuries to his body anywhere the day that he shot and killed Charles. And Charles was shot twice. They knew then, right then and there, One shot knocked Charles to the ground. The other bullet was shot from an angle where somebody was down over him and Charles was laying on the floor, because it notes in the initial police report the gouge in the wood floor where the bullet went through Charles and ricocheted off the floor and then upward through the top of his shoulder. They knew he had 2 bullet holes in him, but he said on the actual 911 call that he shot and killed. Well, he shot Charles in self-defense. If it was in self-defense, why did he have to shoot him twice? That was obvious to the police officers there on the scene. Why did they arrest him? Why would they not take him in for questioning? Why did he not have more injuries other than that? And let's not forget that Charles played softball and was a very avid softball player. If he really wanted to hurt Alex with a baseball bat, he would have hurt him. He would have barely grazed his head with it. Yeah, it's a crying shame. Softball, baseball. Yeah, the last couple of years he played recreational softball, not baseball. On top of it, although, all they had to do was take him in for questioning and then look at Alex Cox's cell phone records right then and there. His cell phone records showed that after the actual shots were fired, he waited. He called Lori to basically, so Lori could set up her alibi. What was her alibi? She went to Payless Shoe Store and bought flip-flops for her and Tylee and for JJ. And she was supposedly taking JJ to school, and the reason why she was gone. But she was setting up an alibi. It's clear. It doesn't take an experienced police officer to be able to see that. And that's the part that's scary. Is there's so many things along the line that just got missed before they ever were able to leave, and go to Idaho. It's just like, why did not? If I shot someone in my house because they try to hit me with a baseball bat, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to look at the entry wound and the exit wound when they roll the body over. And when they rolled Charles's body over, they saw the gouge in the wooden floor from the second round. And they saw 2 exit wounds and they saw 2 entry wounds. Why didn't they stop it right then and there? That would have said, okay, his story is not matching up. His injury doesn't match up to, if the guy had a baseball bat and was coming at you to hit you with it, and he was facing you, and you shot him this way, how did the injury end up in the back of your head, right here? And why isn't the injury a lump that you got hit with a bat? Why is it just a grazing wound? Let's put aside the fact that he played baseball and softball. Maybe he wasn't all that skilled with the baseball bat. How did the injury end up back here when the guy's coming at you and you shot him from here? It makes no sense to me. How could they miss that stuff? Gayla, good morning. Sorry I missed you. I was yabbering away there. Sketty Nona, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Soul for Music, 1979, 79. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. I hope you had a wonderful week. Soul for Music. Yesterday afternoon, before I dove into looking at all 27,000 subscribers accounts, they don't subscribe to me to see about their content, if they make actual content. From yesterday morning to about noonish, I was sitting in here, and I one of my favorite musical artists of all times is Tom Waits. I love that raspy, carnival-esque, music style that he has. But I was sitting here listening to Tom Waits, and just wondering to myself, man, how much of a true hidden talent has Tom Waits been? And people don't realize just how much of a master he really is at what he does. Yeah, I mean, but that was way after, though. I know what she said. It was soul for music. I had a great week. Are you leaving, Sarah? Well, if you are, Sarah, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Do you think Lori will get PD? What is Kristalina? What is PD? I don't know. I understand what that is in reference to. In Chad. Where was I? I was watching a stream and rewind of another channel, and I saw Cement Shoes in the chat on the live stream. I can't remember where it was though. I should write more of this stuff down. I mean, I have forward notebook sitting next to me. How's my wife and son, Kimmy Jean? My wife is. She's got 20 more days left at her job, and then she put in her letter of resignation. So she's going to be leaving her job, and I think in 20 days. So she's kind of winding down. She's training her replacement. But overall, besides that, she's doing good. They're all out of town right now. They went to a farmer's market about 40-ish miles away. Oh, the death penalty? So let's start with Chad. If they're able to convict him of killing his wife, Tammy, if he's convicted of that, will he get the death penalty? I think the likelihood is yes for Chad. Lori, or Hoary Lori, as a lot of people like to refer to her as. Do I think that Lori Vallow will get the death penalty? If she's convicted of killing or conspiring to kill JJ and Tylee, she deserves the death penalty. She deserves the death penalty for killing Charles. Definitely there. Do I think she'll get it in the state of Idaho? It's hard to say. In the state of Idaho, they have a lot of juries do not like to give the death penalty to women. So she's got that working in her favor. They're more likely to give her a lengthy sentence that she would never serve out, or life without the possibility of parole would be more likely, just based on the statistics in the state of Idaho. Now, in Arizona, in Maricopa County, for the death of Charles, if she was to be extradited back there to stand trial for the death of Charles, they would give her the needle. you know, they get the death penalty in Arizona. She can use the mentally incompetent defense, but if she's found sane to stand trial in Idaho, they're going to use that to say, look, she was mentally sane to stand trial, here in Arizona. So I don't think she's ever getting out. But likewise, though, I think it's going to be more than a year from now before we ever see any real action on Lori Vallow, case itself. I think it's going to take some time before they get her back to restorative care, to aid in her own defense. But that's just me, though. There are some. Scott Reisch, I think he said 2 years. It's going to be 2 years before we see anything in it, because of the delays and everything else, the backlog, and how long it's going to take to restore her to mental competency. He thinks 2 years. A lot of other people are guessing right around 2 years, but I think it's going to be less than that. I think it's going to be a year. But death penalty, I think they both deserve to die. But then again, is that one of their goals? Remember, let us not forget that Lori and Chad both had a day in mind where the world was going to end, and they need to cross over to the other side to be relieved of their bodies, and so their spirits could be free to lead the 144,000. They really believe that. So, is there any punishment that it would be fitting that would actually give them any cause to rethink it? I don't think so. I mean, I think we should take them out and flog them in the city square, but imagine if Lori gets on Netflix. Yeah. Zaz, that's what it was. It was on Zaz Girl, Cement Shoes. I thank you for posting it, Soul for Music. I'm addicted to Scott Reisch's Dumb Criminal of the Week, right? Yeah, I'm almost certain it was in Zaz Girl stream. I watch a lot of YouTube channels. I really do. I may not comment as much as people would like me to. That I've been by and I've seen your content, or other channels like Zaz Girl, but or hell, I mean, I watch everything that Mel puts out, and I don't comment on her stuff. I watch it. I laugh my ass off, but y'all need to check out Mel's channel. She really is funny. Yeah. Oh, I knew it. Because I was going through it, and I went through Cement Shoes' channel, and like, wow, look, because not only do I look at so I click on the name that brings up the person's account, then I click on to see if they have any videos that they've actually put out, and then I look down below, and if they have suggested channels that they actually watch, that they subscribe to, if they actually have that publicly visible. A lot of channels hide that stuff, but I saw that the Zaz Girl was on there. I actually found quite a few people who are subscribers to the Taco Podcast. That's the podcast that me and my wife do together, that are subscribers to it, who have never commented a single time on any video, but looking at their watch history, they're watching just about every episode of the podcast, but they've never commented anything. Not even a thumbs up. Nothing. Okay. You can be good looking and not a good person. You actually put an R in pretty. You're Connie Kelly, you're a YouTube junkie. It's the cable news network. Let's hope the judge doesn't fall for Lori. I don't think the judge is going to be the one that right now, if everything was to go to trial right now, I don't think Mr. Means is going to be ready. I don't think he knows what the scope of the allegations and the charges. I mean, he knows probably what the criminal charges are and the outcome of those criminal charges. I don't think he has a total grasp of the case. Mr. Pryor for Chad, I think he has a heck of a lot of a better grasp on what's going on there in the case and how to defend his client and how not to piss the court off. So, Soul for Music, your stuff is hidden. You'll see a lot of Fortnite, Coco Melon videos mixed in with true crime and regular stuff of mine. My kids and my hub use the same account, so it's a crazy mix. I've probably been through it. If you're a subscriber, Soul for Music, I guarantee you, yesterday I went through every single channel. If you have subscribers or if you don't have subscribers, I went all the way from the top channel with the most subscribers all the way to the channel with no subscribers. And the account was made not even a month ago. With no icon, no setup at all. I've gone through every one of them. Duty Ron was telling people to sub to your channel, Inner Peace. Duty Ron's he's a good guy. I like Duty Ron's content. I've been asked to be a moderator on a couple of channels, not Duty Ron's, but I've been asked to be a moderator, or people have given me the wrench without asking, and then I've had to contact them and say, look, please take the wrench away. I don't have time to be a moderator. I don't even have time to comment a lot of times on the actual content that I'm watching. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of channels like that, Soul for Music, where they haven't put any content on the channels in a long time. All playlists are available for Tamara. The Mod Father. I was on a channel that bashed Amber Heard, and I got made a mod in about 10 seconds. That's a record. What I don't like is, that people have made me moderators before for channels, and I didn't ask for it, and then I have to go through and have to contact them and say, please take the wrench back. I just don't have time to moderate, your content and to keep it, moving or peaceful, and I'd rather, someone ask me if I wanted to be a moderator than somebody just give me the wrench and say, here, you do it. Mike Stevens, you're a bad moderator. I believe in free speech strongly. So do I, Mike. But there are limits to free speech. Even the United States Constitution, there are limits to free speech. You can't say anything in anywhere. Mill Mod Boss. I hired FM Lynette as a bodyguard, so she'd better watch it. Zaz Girl is nice, and trolls take advantage of that. I hope they're blocking those assholes. Yeah. Kristalina, your phone's buffering. I'm sorry. If y'all make sure you next time you're over on Zaz Girl's channel, that that we had a conversation about her. I give her a shout out. She does a great job. I listen to scam channels like MLNs. Oh man, those need mods. Will, you are the only one who has early live. Well, on Saturdays, I picked this time originally for international viewers. That's why it's on. I started at 8 a.m. I would do it earlier, but it didn't work out with some people who are over the date line. I want everybody to be here. I want everybody to be able to take part, in the live stream. Now, Sunday nights is kind of hard for a lot of people. For even if they're in the United States, it's difficult. Either they're eating dinner or they're just getting ready to get their kids to bed or whatever. It's hard. Their grandchildren to bed in a lot of cases. I try though. I try to take everybody else's schedules into account. Well, she's always looking for people to come on a panel. You'd be great on there. Well, I'll keep that in mind. Cement Shoes. It's more of a time constraint than anything else. It's not that it doesn't have anything to do with her content or what she does. I mean, I really enjoy her channel, but I'm so backlogged right now on trying to keep up with where I'm at right now. It's just trying to find the one day, and I don't even get an entire day. After this stream is over with, I'll leave here, go have breakfast, or my family's not here, so I'm not going to cook for just myself and have to do the dishes. But I'll go have breakfast, and then I'll meet up with my friends to golf today, and then I'm back at it after golf. I'm back in the studio probably 6 o'clock tonight. I'll be back in here, and I'll be here until 11. And from 11 to 5 in the morning, I'll sleep, and then I'm back in here all day tomorrow. And I mean all day tomorrow. Because the True Crime Trivia usually lasts about 2.5, 3 hours. It starts at 7, so I'm 10 o'clock. I'll get done with that, and then I have to start the next week's videos and editing and script writing and everything else all over again. So it's hard. It's really hard to try to do collaborations or anything like that. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, when I say I've been approached by a lot of people who want me to help them to be on a panel or be a guest on their channel. I just don't have the time. Oh, well, I know exactly as soon as you say that. interviews. I know exactly who you're talking about. I didn't even have to look up to see, what the rest of the conversation was. Why is he still on YouTube? Why is he still have people who are paying money every single month to not only listen to him stab other people in the back, but to bring pedophiles and liars and people that he could do just a basic internet search on his panel as experts, because people fall into this thing. It's called confirmational bias. They hear something for the first time, they believe it to be the truth. They want to believe that he wouldn't lie to them, even though he's constantly using them for more and more money, and he will beat people to the pulp for another dollar. It's the way it goes. Then there's the complete opposite. There's me. We'll never ask you for a dime. I don't put anything on behind a paywall. Everything that's on Patreon or channel membership, will eventually end up on the regular channel. Usually I keep the stuff that goes for Patreon only for about 3 weeks, and then it gets released to general public on playlist. You just click of a mouse, change it from channel or Patreon to general public audience. But I still have to offer some kind of content, that's exclusive, and perks and stuff like that for channel members and for Patreon members. So can't begrudge me for that. He apparently had Cindy Watt on live in the chat. Sure he did. I believe it. He also had the CBI on during the Chris Watts case. He also had the governor of the prison. He had the FBI on. And then when it was pointed out that he was lying, and everybody knew he was fucking lying about that, sorry for my language, he played it off as a joke later on. But not during those streams, no. You can ask Martin Dehan about that. He's got video clips of the actual streams where he welcomed by name the individuals from the CBI and the FBI and the governor of the prison and everything else, and he was having them on. And his title to the stream and everything was to get everybody in to believe that he really had these people on live. Scott Reich also made fun of his picture of a bunch of books in the background because they weren't real. Scott Reich's books get used every day. AD was embarrassed and took it down. Yeah, I've gotten cement shoes. I've gotten a lot of flack for that myself. A lot of people, like when I did the green screen, and I'm working on it. I'm trying to use green screen. I'm trying to use it, and figure out how it actually works. I mean, I have this technology. Why not use it? So I did pick a picture that did have a bookshelf in the background for a couple of videos and a couple of intros. But not anymore. But it didn't matter to people. They came down on me and like, you're doing the same thing that AD did. You're not real. I'm like, of course they're not freaking real. Looks like I'm in a dungeon with a book and candles. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Martin right now. I don't know if they shut him down or not. But Connie Kelly, I love Scott too. I got to unsubscribe to AD's channel. Are you? Don't do it on my account, Rycart. Subscribe to whoever you want. I'm not telling anybody what to believe or who to believe. I don't even tell people you have to believe me. If you hear something on my channel and you think it's not true, research it yourself. Please. I want everybody to take what I say and what I do with a grain of salt and go out and actually research it yourself. there's the only way you're ever going to know 100% who's telling you the truth. And I will say in my own defense, though, history has been on my side. And unfortunately, I'm not the best at conveying importance or patting myself on the back. I do the best I can with my abilities and the time constraints that I have in my life. But research it yourself. And, the internet is there. You're using the internet to actually find, information, watch information, and learn right now. You can open up another tab and research the information yourself. But I document everything. I bet I've been wrong. I know I've been wrong. I've been misled. And every time I have, I go right out and I make damn sure that I humbly apologize for every one of my errors. I got blocked from AD a long time ago. He couldn't handle being called out on the facts. Now, you're not alone there, Soul for Music. You're not alone in that. I know a lot of people who got banned and have been blocked, and he thinks he's gotten rid of us. Let's just say that there are a lot of people who are subscribers to his content that are not the people he thinks they are. Notice that you don't create fantasy, Will. Thanks for that also. Well, you're welcome. Armpit detective. I would love to do that, Broken Justice. Are you going to be making content again soon? I hope you are. I tell people all the time, even if you don't do it for for the views or for the admiration or whatever, do it for yourself. If you have the desire and the will and the to want to make and have a YouTube channel and put out content, do it for yourself. Only do what you love to do. If you would much rather talk about something completely different than true crime, just talk about your life experiences, do that. Oh, bye, Kristalina. It's nice to see you again. You have a wonderful weekend, Kristalina, and stay safe out there. He also, in his Facebook group, asked people to attack and to get rid of the people he didn't like. I have a screenshot of that because he doesn't. Again, the people he thinks that are his fans or and who are subscribers or members of his Facebook group and alike, he doesn't realize who they really are. He thinks that like as an example, there's one person with the first name of Karen, who is a member of subscriber to his channel and in his Facebook group. But Karen isn't Karen. Karen is actually Dave. Well, thank you, Connie Kelly. It is in a lot of ways. You're off the bed, Mel Mel? Well, good night, sweetheart. Thank you again, everyone, for you're in hot parts. Please think check any elderly neighbors. So thank you. You have a terrific week, Mel Mel. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to wrap this up. We're getting to the point of 2 hours. I can't go much over that because I only get so many hours per month of free use of StreamYard, and then they'll cut off the service. So I have the true crime trivia tomorrow night. That uses up a good chunk, and I got a couple more of those I need to do throughout the month. So everyone, I hope, have you seen Joshua Miles? Yeah, camera. I watched Joshua Miles. I'm a subscriber. Yeah, I watch his channel. Just watched it just the other day. But again, everyone, thank you again for being here. I really appreciate it, and I really do hope that everyone has a terrific weekend and stay safe out there. And like Mel Mel said, if you have elderly neighbors in your area and the temperatures are hitting the triple digits, please check on them, or high Celsius numbers, right? Higher Celsius numbers. Please check on your neighbors. But everyone stay safe out there. I'll see you all again soon. Debbie Gilligan, I'm sorry if I missed you earlier. I really am sorry, Deb. But you have a terrific weekend. Journey to Justice. Wow. Hello again. It's your birthday? Today's 60th? Well, quickly, before we wrap this up, let's all sing Journey to Justice. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Journey to Justice. Happy birthday to you. Have a great week, everyone.